Hi there, I'm Mackenzie and this is my first booktube video. So the first question is, why did I want to start this channel? I have so much to say and I have no one to say it to. God bless my husband, because half the time he'll watch me have these like visceral reactions and he's just not a big reader, and he tries, bless him, but he just doesn't get it. I really wanted to create my own little corner of the world and my own little booktube community to give my 2 cents. For that reason, I've always wanted to start a booktube channel, but I just have never had the courage to. But circumstances have kind of changed. I just had a baby and the place where I worked is closing. So here in like 3 weeks will be completely out of a job. So I'm going to be kind of experimenting with some different things like freelancing, but this is also kind of like the first opportunity where I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna give it a go. If nothing happens, nothing happens, and that's okay. In the meantime, I'm just gonna have fun making videos and challenging myself. Next question is, what can I bring to booktube? And the reality is there are so many amazing people in this community already that I ultimately just want to be a part of it. Like when you watch my videos, I want it to just feel like we're having a conversation. We're just talking about books that we enjoy or books that we absolutely hate. I just want it to be like a conversation. I also want to give the channel a feeling of authenticity. What you see is what you get. There's a reality where I'm probably just going to be multitasking on this channel. So I'll be talking about books while folding laundry, or there's different art projects that I want to do around the house, or just like remodeling that I might be multitasking and doing both. Is that a little audacious? Probably, but that's the goal right now. I also just want to create a community of positivity and light. There's so much negativity out there, and I just want to create a space where we can all just hang out. What am I most excited about? Honestly, the whole thing. I love talking about books. I love talking about everything having to do with this hobby, that I'm just excited for the opportunity to see where this goes. Another thing that I'm really excited about is, up until this point, even though I have been reading for years, I really have been avoiding book talk. I don't even have a TikTok, but there's a lot of books that are super popular that have been out there for a while that I have absolutely no idea about. So my first video that I'm going to put out after this is actually The Assassin's Blade. My plan is to read the Throne of Glass series for the first time. Another thing that I'm really excited about in being part of this community is fueling my own creativity, both for these videos, but then also like I'm a writer myself, and I'm hoping that it can fuel my own creative juices with my novel that I'm currently working on. Next question. When did I start reading? I really didn't start reading until I was probably like 4th or 5th grade, probably even 6th grade. I grew up having a learning disability and am mildly dyslexic, so reading was a huge struggle whenever I was little. But around like the 5th, 6th grade, my sister and I started reading like Magic Tree House and like those small chapter books, and that just like ignited something in me. And the cool thing is my sister and I were both kind of partners in crime, creatively speaking. She's a filmmaker and I'm a writer, and we collaborate on a lot of our individual projects. For birthdays, Christmases, we would write stories for each other, and that would be our gift. Ever since that age, I really haven't looked back. Reading and writing has always been something that's part of me. Then next question is, why do I love to read? And I think that kind of goes into what I was saying before of just as a child, like always having such a vivid imagination. And now being an adult, having a young child and having all these responsibilities, reading and writing has enabled me to keep that imagination alive. And in a way, it's kind of become an element of escapism. After I had my daughter, about 6 months ago, I read the ACOTAR series for the first time, and that blew my mind. But that was exactly what I needed in those early postpartum weeks to get through like the sleep deprivation and the exhaustion and all of that stuff. What challenges do I think I'll face with this channel? Honestly, I think the biggest challenge that I'll have is just time. You know, I mentioned before with like being authentic is that there's going to be a lot that I'm juggling. I don't really have a lot of time to just sit and read. I'm always doing chores or working or writing or juggling family time. I think my biggest challenge will be sitting down to read. And another thing that goes along with that is I really want to focus on quality over quantity. There's so many booktube channels where someone reads 30 to 50 books in 1 month or like over 100 books in a year. That will absolutely not be me. I don't think that's physically possible even if I wanted to, but the reality is reading is so important to me and I don't want to squander the love that I have for it. So I would rather read kind of at the normal amount that I would anyway and just share my thoughts with you about it. I don't want to overdo it where I lose that love, if that makes sense. Okay, where do I read? Pretty much anywhere. I do not have the space or time to read a lot of physical books. Not that I won't, but most of the time I read on my Kindle or Libby or the Hoopla app where I can listen to audiobooks. So most likely that'll be the between ebooks and audiobooks, that'll be the primary way that I do my reading. So if that is not for you, then this isn't the channel for you either. What kind of books do I like to read? Mostly anything. There are some genres that I tend to go for more than others. I read primarily romance, but whenever I have dabbled in other genres, I have enjoyed those. So I'm hoping, especially like fantasy, thriller, mystery, historical fiction, those are ones that I've really enjoyed in the past. So I'm hoping that I can challenge myself to read more of those as well. Yeah, I really want to diversify, but I read more. So that's it. If you've made it all the way to the end, thank you so much. I am so excited to start this journey and I hope you can come along with me. If you have any book recommendations that you want me to read or react to, please leave them in the comments and I'll see you next time.